Congratulations, you have fire, clean water, and a house that can survive rain, wind, and several unannounced visits from Bob. You have successfully rebuilt the basic survival package of civilization. There is just one problem. You are hungry. Hunting failed. The fish have decided that rebuilding humanity is not their responsibility. Your last food supplies disappeared yesterday, and Bob is now staring at your leather shoes as if he is estimating the cooking time. Luckily, the land around you is covered in leaves, berries, roots, seeds, and nuts. Some of them are food. Others look almost identical, but can turn tonight's dinner into the final episode of this channel. So today we are not going to use vague advice like, look carefully at the leaves. We are going to examine a few plants that can be recognized by a clear combination of features, and several dangerous groups that a beginner should avoid completely. Welcome back to Civilization from Scratch. The first rule is simple. You cannot determine whether a plant is edible from one feature. A smooth leaf does not mean safe. A hollow stem does not mean poisonous. Red berries do not automatically mean danger. And a sweet taste does not mean the plant wants you to survive. Every feature exists for one purpose, to help you identify a specific species. So your first wild food catalog should be short, not 100 plants that you think you recognize. 3 or 5 plants that you can identify without using the words probably, looks similar, or Bob says he has seen one before. Let us begin with the common dandelion. Yes, common dandelions can be used as food after the entire set of features has been confirmed. Young leaves can be eaten fresh or cooked. The flowers are also used as food, but only collect them from clean land that has not been treated with herbicides, pesticides, or other chemicals. Now, here's how you identify one. The leaves do not grow along an upright stem. Instead, they form a basal rosette, a circle of leaves growing directly from the ground. The leaves are deeply divided, and their pointed lobes often angle backward toward the base. From the center rises a separate hollow flower stalk. The stalk has no leaves. It does not branch, and each stalk carries only one bright yellow flower. After flowering, it produces the familiar white ball of seeds. When broken, the leaves and flower stalk release white sap. Here's the practical conclusion. A basal rosette. Deeply divided leaves. One hollow, leafless, unbranched flower stalk. One yellow flower, then one white seed head. All of those features together are consistent with a common dandelion. But if the flower stalk branches, if leaves grow on the stalk, or if several flowers appear on one stem, the description no longer matches. Do not invent an explanation. You were looking for one specific plant. You did not find it. The second useful plant is broadleaf plantain, Plantago major. Not the banana, that would be considerably easier. Broadleaf plantain is a low-growing plant whose young leaves can be eaten fresh or cooked. Older leaves usually become tough and fibrous, so the younger growth is the better choice. The leaves grow from one central point close to the ground, forming another basal rosette. They are broad, oval, or egg-shaped. At the base, each leaf narrows into a longer stalk. The most noticeable feature is a group of strong, lengthwise veins. They begin near the base and run almost parallel toward the tip. From the center of the rosette rise long, leafless flower stalks. At the top are narrow spikes that eventually turn brown as the seeds mature. So the useful combination is a low basal rosette, broad oval leaves, strong lengthwise veins, and long leafless stalks carrying narrow seed spikes. If the leaves grow all along a tall branching stem, it is not broadleaf plantain. If the veins form an ordinary branching network instead of strong lines running from base to tip, the description does not match. If there is no basal rosette, do not collect it. Now suppose you have correctly identified a dandelion or broadleaf plantain. Can you immediately eat it? Not yet. Look at where it is growing. Do not collect plants beside busy roads, near rubbish dumps, on industrial land, beside wastewater or polluted water, from fields or lawns that may have been treated with pesticides or herbicides, or anywhere the plants are covered in unknown dust, oil, or waste. A plant may be edible as a species and still become terrible food because of the place where it grew. Wash collected leaves thoroughly with clean water. And remember, identifying the species is only half the task. You must also know which part is used. Young edible leaves do not mean that every root, seed, and stem should also be eaten. Now let us move to the plants that a beginner should exclude. First, unknown plants with white umbrella-shaped flower clusters. You see a tall stem. At the top are many tiny white flowers arranged like flat umbrellas. The leaves are thin and divided, almost like parsley. The root resembles a carrot or parsnip. Do not eat it. This group includes poison hemlock. It often has a smooth, hollow, branching stem marked with purple or reddish blotches. Its leaves are finely divided. Its flowers form large, white, umbrella-shaped clusters. But young poison hemlock may appear only as a low rosette, and some features may be less obvious at different stages of growth. So the rule is not, no purple spots means safe. The rule is, if you are not highly experienced with this plant family, an unknown plant with white umbrella flowers and carrot-like features does not become soup, even if it smells familiar, even if the root looks impressive, and especially if Bob says it is probably parsley. Next, a vine or shrub with leaves made of 3 leaflets. This may be poison ivy or poison oak. Poison ivy commonly has 3 green leaflets attached together. It may grow as a climbing vine or a low shrub. It can also produce pale berries. Its appearance varies by season and location, so the 3-leaflet pattern is a warning signal, not a complete identification. The practical rule is, if an unknown vine or shrub has leaves made of 3 leaflets, do not eat it and do not handle it with bare skin until it has been identified. Do not burn it either. Smoke from burning poison ivy and related plants can carry irritating compounds into your lungs. You invented fire to improve your life. Do not use it to turn a skin problem into a breathing problem. Now, berries. Red berries are not automatically poisonous. Blackberries are not automatically safe. White, blue, and purple berries do not provide useful permission either. Berry color is not a safety system. You do not collect purple berries. You collect the fruit of a specifically identified plant. That means you know how the plant grows. Whether it is a tree, shrub, vine, or herb, you know the leaves, the stem, the fruit arrangement, and the dangerous species that resemble it. If you cannot identify the plant itself, the berries stay where they are. And no, birds do not prove that a fruit is safe for humans. Different animals process plant chemicals differently. A bird may show you where fruit is growing, it is still not a toxicologist. Next, unknown mushrooms. A mushroom looks familiar. You are almost certain you once saw one in soup. Excellent. Put it back. Color and cap shape are not enough. Reliable mushroom identification can require checking the gills or pores, the stem, the base, rings, surrounding tissue, color changes after damage, spore characteristics, and other details. Some dangerous mushrooms closely resemble edible ones, and symptoms of severe poisoning may be delayed. So unknown mushrooms do not participate in rebuilding civilization. They can wait until your settlement produces an actual expert. Here is your practical system. When you find a plant, compare it only with the short list of species you already know. For a common dandelion, confirm a basal rosette, deeply divided leaves, 1 hollow, leafless, unbranched stalk, 1 yellow flower, and later 1 white seed head. For broadleaf plantain, confirm a low basal rosette, broad oval leaves, several strong lengthwise veins, long leafless flower stalks, and narrow seed spikes. If every key feature matches, continue the identification and use only the known edible part. If even one important feature does not match, do not eat the plant. That does not automatically mean it is poisonous. It means it is not the species you know how to use safely. And that distinction is what keeps you alive. So your first wild food catalog should remain small. Common dandelion can be used as food, especially young leaves and flowers, after the full set of features matches and the plant has grown on clean, untreated ground. Broadleaf plantain is also edible. Its young leaves can be eaten fresh or cooked, while older leaves are generally tougher and more fibrous. Again, collect it only when the basal rosette, broad leaves, strong lengthwise veins, and narrow flower spikes all match. Meanwhile, unknown white umbrella flowers, unknown berries, 3-leaflet vines and shrubs, unknown roots and bulbs, and all unidentified mushrooms are not food yet. Draw every confirmed species, record where it grows, when it appears, which part is edible, and how it should be prepared. Save seeds from useful plants and move them closer to your home. Congratulations, you are no longer wandering through the forest and hoping lunch identifies itself. You are building your first local food catalog. The next step is to stop searching for food every day and make food grow where you want it. In the next episode, we begin inventing agriculture. Subscribe, because now you have fire, water, a house, and your first reliable sources of food. And Bob's shoes can remain shoes, for now. Civilization from Scratch, Episode 4, Wild Food.